We are very pleased to participate in this initiative of Voices Against Smuggling, Voices Against Human Trafficking. Our dear friend Rosy Orozco, we have always honored her perseverance, which is the reason why Mexico is now having a direct approach in the fight against this crime. It wasn't always like this. First, there was a certain amount of indifference. It was only a legislative matter, with the pimping approach, but not with the care of victims of human trafficking, which is so important in an international level. Human trafficking is one of the crimes that harms humanity the most. It is the third most lucrative business for organized crime, just after weapon trafficking and drug trafficking. It is human trafficking. We need to keep in mind that human trafficking may show different facades, and it may attack not only women, but also boys and girls. That is why it becomes very important to participate from different acting points, from different combat lines, from the different combat lines, the legislative and the executive power, men, women, private and public sectors, in bringing awareness and avoiding each of the modalities that human trafficking encompasses. This fight, all over the world, led by women in many of its tasks, is bearing fruit. A wide network is being created and allows us to be communicated right now. It allows us to participate in this great initiative of different voices that will be talking in order to fight against this scourge that hurts the whole world and that may harm anyone. It can be a close one, a relative, someone you know, or it can be one of the millions of people worldwide. Yes, millions of people, millions of women, millions of girls and boys subjected to the human smuggling networks. It is very important to become aware of this. Governments should assign a budget. Governments should assign efforts. From the legislative power, we need to learn how to safeguard and reinforce all the action lines, how to take a step forward. One of the tasks that is still pending and that we will never stop insisting on, and we will keep strengthening, is the one concerning shelters. These specialized centers that allow women to become empowered and at the same time allow them to feel secure and protected. A trained and specialized staff in specialized shelters are key for a woman who has been victim of human trafficking to be able to change her life and shift and be able to reincorporate and incorporate into having a social life and a normal productive life. The psychological effects is nothing of less importance. It is a topic that hurts very much and damages them because they are submitted to the worst humiliations possible. After that, the dignity of a person needs to be recovered and that once again needs to become empowered. That is why shelters are so important, and that is why a specialized staff should be the one there, and that is why governments in every country of the world should strengthen this task, and Mexico is no exception. The different states of the Mexican Republic need to have shelters. Right now, there are only a few states that have a shelter. There are only a few states that are participating in this empowering policy. Luckily, we are having more and more added to those fighting against this crime. From the Attorney's Office and the District Attorney's Office, from the courts, from the specialization of legislation and the creation of laws, from the training of experts and psychologists, of personnel devoted to the detection in places where human trafficking is taking place. But we still need to move forward in this task. We need to take the next step. There will always be something to do because there will always be someone in need. Phone helplines, ways to make contact, provide support, empowering, shelters. Each and every one of these actions are necessary. And again, we want to acknowledge Rosy Orozco and Voices Against Trafficking. Congratulations for this initiative. Let's say what needs to be said. The effort of all of us is very important.